All right, so we are on the 48 and decided to jump into the rear portion of this truck, and there's a few things I want to get done before we start dealing with the tilt bed floor. And we have that whole kit and everything coming, and a lot of the actuator stuff from Willwood. We just need to build the actual structure for it. But before we jump in, I want to deal with this exhaust. I've got the driver's side all pieced together, welded up, and fitted into our new roll pan. That took about 9 pieces all the way up underneath, and then we lifted that battery box up about 3 inches so that we could run the exhaust underneath and not have it dragging on the ground. So that is what I'm going to get on right now, is doing everything I did on the driver's side over here. This is the battery box, how it looked originally. So we need to cut this tab off of here so that we can actually bring the battery up out from the top instead of the side. And then I want to relocate these 4 holes down lower, and then we're going to actually taper those holes so that we can use these tapered 7/16 14 bolts, and that will sit flush with the battery box, and there will be nothing for the battery to rub on the inside. So I've got all of that stuff up and out of the way. I've got a pile of bends here so that I can try to make this passenger side as close to the driver as possible. Of course, there'll be a little tweaks and stuff to get it to come out in that hole exactly where we want it. So first thing we got to do is cut this bracket off of the back. Try to do it without scarring it. So I'm reusing a bunch of the stuff they already had. We just really didn't like where it just dumped out the bottom and really want to have it in that new roll pan there. So I cut their piece of stainless apart. They had a couple of really nice tight 90s in it that we can reuse. And then this 45 is where we started on the other side. So I went and cleaned this all up so that we can use the V-band clamp. Just stuck a couple of tacks on the inside for now, and we're going to start tacking these bends together. it could still use a little more polishing, but it is pretty good for now. And there is the tip, nice and shortened up, ready to go. And we can start doing the rest of the exhaust, which is laying here and here and here. So the next step of the rear end is completed. We finally do have the tips in. We turn this rolled edge into more of a visor. It tapers from like 3/8 of an inch here down to 0 by the time you get to the end of the roll pan. And then these tips do stick out about 3/16 of an inch past where the roll pan is. It has kind of a really nice look the way it kind of steps down on the sides. So the next thing we need to do back here to start getting the vision of this rear end together is get these diverter fins mounted. I've got some that we made out of some hardboard, and we'll get those mounted on, figure out where we're going to terminate that and get the look we want so that we can start getting those printed out on the 3D printer. I'm super happy with how this thing looks from underneath, from the side. We're going to be wrapping the pipe in some Thermatec exhaust wrap, just because it does come around the battery and it'll make it look really nice. It kind of follows the line of the gas tank under here, The diverter fins kind of roll right into the bottom of the gas tank. So it's going to have a really nice look from underneath as well if you ever do get a chance to sneak your head down underneath it. So I'm going to start getting those things mounted and done, and then we can start working on this tool, on this tailgate, because we've got a few interesting changes we're going to try to engineer into this thing. So this is the first time I am actually seeing all of this together with the exhaust, the diffuser fins, the license plate cover, everything together. I really like it. There's two different designs and they're very similar, but the driver's side we did first. The passenger side, it kind of tapers to the license plate a little bit better, and it looks really cool from the side. So I think we're gonna go with the passenger side area, even though from a distance they look very, very similar. But I am really loving this thing. I've seen the picture in my head 1,000 times when I was looking at it, designing it, but to actually see it all together without stuff being duct taped on there is pretty cool, and it is exactly what I had imagined the back end of the truck was going to look like. So now we can move on, get the tail lights mounted, and Amy and I can start doing the engineering and design on this top of this tailgate.